Welcome back everybody to the Intel Extreme Masters Open Bracket Day 1 Taipei, where we are getting ready to hop into our final series of the night. It's going to be Wei Spider Check versus the one, the only, the foreign hope, Prince Charming of the North, collector of Norwegian Angels. It is Snute, of course. Let's go ahead and hop into the series. Let me just see if I got my tweet out. Nate, can you check if I got my tweet out since you're not in the game anyway?
Check your tweet.
I didn't check my tweet now.
No.
No. I'm really sad right now. Maybe you can make a tweet for me.
I don't know if I have the power.
Nope, you don't. Anyways, then I guess we're gonna have to do it without the tweet over here on the left top side. Of that wing, we have the one and only. It is Snute.
Snute.
There's one Norwegian fan out there who gets very, very mad every single time
Did you say it like that?
I say Snute. He's like, "Hey, please stop saying Snute. It's Snute."
You ever been to Norway?
Yeah, actually, yes, I have.
I had a layover in Oslo once.
That doesn't count. Like, if I have to count every country where I had layovers.
I mean, I wasn't suggesting I've been there. I was just saying that's the only experience I have.
It was actually really funny. While we go ahead and introduce our last player over here on the left bottom side of the map, it is Wei Spider Check. So when I went to Oslo, I went to the Viking ship, which is like basically, in Hamar. It's not in Oslo, it's in Hamar. That's basically like the Norwegian DreamHack, right? It's obviously a little smaller, but...
Okay.
So they asked me, and they're like, "Hey, Rotterdam, do you want to cast this Warcraft 3 tournament?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." I didn't know anything about it. I was like, "What do I get?" They're like, "We'll pay you 350 euros. I was like, "Man, that's amazing. I get a free trip to Norway, and I get 350 euros. I was like, "Deal." So I go to Norway, and I cast this tournament full of like community members, and Targa. Targa was there, but Targa was not very good in Warcraft. He was not bad, but not very good. So, I'm casting those games. I was like, "Hey, what's the first place for this tournament?" And it turned out it was like $2,100. I would have won that tournament with one hand, Nate.
Damn.
And meanwhile, I'm stuck casting it for 350.
That's a sad life.
I know. I was so rustled. And Targa should have won that, but he actually lost because some really silly strategy. He lost against such a bad player. I would have won that tournament so easily. That would have been the biggest payday of my career, actually.
Damn.
Tournament-wise. But yeah, I didn't know. Back then, esports was not as well connected as it is in this day and age. Anyways, we see Czech already mining a little bit of gas. Well, Snute is doing the exact same thing. Alright, this is a big series, so I guess we should be pretty damn serious, Nate. It's been a long...
We're always serious, Kev.
That's true. Even when we joke around, we do keep a close eye on details.
It's not like... Yeah, there's a difference between joking around and missing things.
Yeah, that's true.
We got this. So, looking at the way that this is set up, right? Big map. Now, I believe both players are aware. Yeah, both players definitely know 100% where the other has spawned, which means it's actually kind of nice that neither of them sent overlords to the right side. So because they know where each other is, it's a little bit more tricky to try to any all-in plays or any really aggressive strategies in ZvZ, since the overlords should be watching over the paths to each other's bases, but also, trying to check things like the gases. However, I do not believe that either of them can really get a good scout with an overlord now without dying to the queen, because the way that this map works is your geysers are tucked pretty safely away from where an overlord could come in to check them.
It's interesting how both of them just kept on mining gas as well, by the way. Didn't just stop and then eventually put some on gas. Nope, they just kept mining gas, both threw it on a baiting nest. It is an absolute mirror so far, with the small exception that Snute took his gas a little bit later. So I guess he mined a few more minerals, and that is why he has 1 or 2 drones more. But other than that, this has been a mirror image so far. This has been the definition of a mirror matchup, Nate.
Yeah, we've had a lot of mirrors today. There's been quite a few. In fact, I think the other stream is doing another ZvZ.
Sulky versus
Lena.
Check.
Sulky versus Lena on the main stream.
Oh yeah,
now.
we are watching Check over here.
Yeah.
This house is falling apart. Alright. Check still. Man, there's so much gas.
Is anyone gonna aggro?
Well, yeah, he's rewinding so much gas.
I wanna see. Come on, show me something.
33 drones against 32. Snoot's gonna try to go up to 3 bases over here. Czech has quite a few circlings making their way across the map, but Snoot has a couple of defensive paintings as well. Finds an overlord for his efforts. It's always nice.
Yeah, always nice. Look how fast that third base. Both players taking their thirds, not even worried about it. So that leads me to believe we're not gonna have to worry about any Lingbane shenanigans.
Yep.
Or at least we shouldn't. You know, no one ever tries it off at 3 bases. Usually because if you make it to 3 bases, you can also make it to roaches. So.
Yep. Yeah, roaches are very good at soaking up banelings.
Roaches are the almighty in ZvZ.
In this game.
Yeah.
As the roach one goes down, layer goes down on both sides. It's
Everything's still pretty much completely in sync between the two players.
Yep. Small advantage for Snute. Just did everything a little bit quicker than his opponent. Has 1 or 2 drones more. You know, got that third base a tiny bit quicker. Got an Overlord snipe off. So a few minor advantages for Snute, but definitely not something that means that you can make a bunch of roaches and march across the map and win. Just ran 4 Zerglings into a Baneling, not the best trade ever either, but by now, you know, if you can get a scout off, that's awesome. If the Zerglings can be annoying in the main base, that's great. If not, so be it. We are going to make roaches and roaches only anyway. We're gonna make 1 unit and 1 unit only. And this unit, Nate, it balls so hard that Zerglings can't find it.
Well, when it burrows, man, it burrows so hard. Burrows so hard, Overseer's trying to find me. They will never find me.
You have good follow-ups. I like that name.
That's why we're a dynamic duo.
You're a true MC.
I got your back, Kev. I got your back.
As our producer just told us, it's Cray.
So both players. Hey, Kev, guess what both players are doing?
Going up to 4 bases and making roaches?
Yeah. Guess what players are doing differently?
Upgrades? No.
Nope.
Nothing?
Nothing. Oh, there's an infestation pit. Okay.
Hey.
We got something.
Why are you trying to trick me?
We got something. Well, I wasn't tricking you until it changed. Then I was tricking you.
Alright.
Snoot's gonna go for. I'd have to imagine. Please God, not swarm hosts. It's gonna be infestors. It's gotta be. I don't think swarm hosts work in this matchup.
Czech is catching up drone-wise. He was down 11 drones, but now he's just like, all right, let me hold down that D button for a little bit.
I will proffer this. The swarm host play on this map could still work as a way to hold your 4th base down temporarily, so that if you and your opponent both rush to hive, you won't instantly die. But it will be pathogen glands, so that makes
It's funny
sense.
because in the old days, Snute wasn't really the type of Zerg player that rushed up to pathogen glands. He liked to just max out on roaches, and by the time that he had that, then he would get pathogen glands, and then eventually he would add a few infestors. But he actually switches already up at home Story Cup 10. I recall this correctly, because back then I said the same thing as I'm saying right now, and then he did the complete opposite. I was like, oh. So then I asked him about it. He's like, oh no, infestors are really good. You should always go infestors. But I was like, Jens, last time you told me you should max out on roaches. He's like, I can't remember saying that. I was like, yes, I'm not making this up. He's like, maybe. He's like, well, I really like infestors in ZvZ. I was like, okay.
Difficult to follow with
It is,
thinking, man.
yeah. It is still difficult though. Like, just because you get a few infestors out first, that doesn't mean that you should attack. You definitely do want to wait until you at least have 150 plus energy. I think, you know, maybe Snute is going to prove me wrong, and as soon as these infestors pop, he's just going to attack. But I'd be surprised if he does that, Nate. I'll be really surprised.
Yeah. So let's see what happens as the infestors start to come out. Is he going to get ready to push soon?
I think one of the reasons why Snute, by the way, said that he likes quicker infestors these days is because the Baneling became a lot more popular in this matchup. And obviously infestors are pretty good against Banes.
Yeah. The Banelings are always... I've never liked them in ZvZ. But
You never liked them in ZvZ?
no, not when it's Roach Hydra or anything like that.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, I don't know, man. I think to myself, I'm like, you know how to split, right? Because Banelings don't even work against units normally. If you're fight on creep, then I don't know. But maybe that's just my Terran superiorist type thing. Maybe I'm an elitist.
Against Hydras, it's very good. I mean, like, it's a lot easier to split Marines than it is to split these fat roaches.
Yeah, but you don't need to split as well because
That's true.
Banelings are only cost effective if they're hitting 3 roaches.
Yeah. I see what you're going. This 4th base was quite a bit later for Czech. Basically, everything is a little bit later for Czech. Snute already going up to Hive. He adds in 12 Hydralisks now, Nate. And of course, he's gathering up energy on these infestors, the same infestors that Czech has on the other side of the map. Czech is up 8 drones now, so whatever he was behind, he's going to catch up. Snute already on 203 supply. I've heard.
Snute hit 240. Was it 241 or 247
I
earlier
think he
today?
said 241, but that is absolutely the highest supply I have seen in the history of StarCraft 2.
Yep.
I have never seen 241. I have seen, you know, in the old days, I remember Dimaga, Metalopolis, he had like 226, 227. I remember Caldor casting that, and Caldor was shouting very loud. He thought it was very exciting. And I thought it was kind of exciting. So. But then, that is the highest I've ever seen. I've never seen 241.
Yeah, that's pretty hardcore. I'd actually like to see him do more of this overmax play. He's getting ready to push in, and there are spine crawlers here, so Snute attacking into what I would say is a superior defensive position. The concave certainly favoring Czech's army, but does Snute have the right army composition to actually break this? I don't think he's gonna bust this. Like, you're basically just trading out a lot of expensive units.
Yeah, pretty much even on either side. These Hydras will get picked up eventually for Snute. Supply-wise, it's even. Let's take a look at the unit loss resource tab. Snute actually losing slightly more there than Czech did, but Snute has also mined slightly more minerals throughout this game than Czech did. Kind of weird that Snute decided to go at that moment. I think his Q was indeed 150 energy on the Infestors, so he would have 2 Fungos, you know, or Fungo and a bunch of Infestor Terrans, and I think that's when he decided to just go for it. But it was kind of a weird moment to go, because he just hit Hive, here it is, and he just started +3. Contaminate being used over here by this Overseer, that's a cute play. So you could say, you know, did he really have to attack? No, he didn't really have to, but he could have.
Man. So, I'm trying to see here. Both players still being on 4 bases. Oh, I guess
Swarm
Snute just says screw it. He's gonna go Swarm Hosts.
He is indeed adding in a couple of them.
Well, considering how much he threw away, I guess this would make pushing very difficult for Czech.
This is a really awkward ZvZ because of these spawning locations as well, and there's like creep all the way, so neither player can truly do something that will catch the other one off guard.
No.
And then it's just like, it's so difficult to attack in this matchup already, especially if you're both going for the same unit composition. Soon has a couple of Fungos he can rely on, and Swarmos are here now as well, so I think he should be alright. First Fungo does land for Czech, but I like this concave a lot better for Snute.
Now Snute's the one that's spread out, and his Locusts are going to come through, and they absolutely Shrek everything that they run into.
Yeah, the only thing that was a little late to the party is the Hydralisk, I feel, for Snute. And these Hydras from Czech are actually releasing a lot of damage, but Snute will have much quicker +3. I mean, he's losing the front lines, but there is no Observer over here, and like you said, these Locusts should be able to do quite a bit of damage. Czech is going all the way in, Donate. And he's actually going to be able to get these Infestors. I'm really surprised that fight turned out the way it did. Like, I did notice he had quite a few Hydralisks in the back of his army, but I didn't expect those Hydras to reign so supreme. I know they have high DPS, but I didn't know it was that high, Nate. That was higher than Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, pretty high up there, Kev, for sure. He's going to clean up all the roaches inside of his base. And Czech, how far is too far, Kev? Has Czech gone too far in this instance?
Maybe. I mean, in the end, he didn't really get a whole lot done with that run by, right? I mean, he got the Infestors, and Infestors are expensive units, but if you're on 4 bases, you would say that you can get quite a bit done with your Infestors.
Yeah. All right, well, let's see. 5 more Infestors are about to finish up for Snute. Still Hydras coming out for Czech, and Snute had his +3 upgrades a little bit faster, if I recall correctly, for his ranged units, which is kind of nice. But it should be evening out soon for Czech. Swarm hosts are going to plop down, and I guess now it becomes a battle for a 5th base, right?
Yeah, I mean, do you really have to rush up to 5 bases?
Well, when you have Swarm hosts, I guess not.
Someone said he wins the race. Snute has superior upgrades. If Snute can get a fight now, he would fight with 3-2 against 2-1. That sounds pretty promising to me.
Yeah.
And with these Locusts as well, these Maniacs don't really get a whole lot done. Snute is able to land a couple of Fungos right before these upgrades are ready. 20 seconds before they are ready.
This is a good time to be able to get into a fight with those upgrades, like you said, and the fungal growth's holding that army in place. The next Locust wave is about to come in, so that signals, hey, get out of here for Czech. But still, taking some losses, and I'd love grabbing the Hydras on the way out. Those Hydras in the back, they're so important, Kev.
Yep, Snute moving forward now as well with a couple of these Swarm modes. Now the upgrades are ready for Czech. I mean, his armor was kind of ready during the fight, but the attack really wasn't ready up to the point where he started running away. So perfect moment to fight for Snute. A little bit silly for Czech to position himself on that side of the map in this phase in the game, so close before your upgrades are about to kick in. And wow, he actually never got Hydra speed, Nate.
That's all.
Oh, that's Snute. No,
well,
Snute never really had a whole lot of Hydras.
I guess if there's creep everywhere, does it really matter?
No, and he never really had a whole lot of Hydras anywhere. Well, he had a few, but I kind of wonder. Gets +3 Carapace now as well.
Yeah, the Locust moving forward now. Then, even though the concave is certainly favoring Czech, the Locusts, well, they're kind of known for being cost effective, right? As long as you don't lose the position entirely, the outer concave is really good for Snute, and the next wave of Locust is going to come. He doesn't need to spend money to reinforce, and Infestors being out of energy means that Snute is slowly going to be able to push his way through this.
Yep, these Locusts and Infesting Terrans together just doing a really good job. Where's their Overseer? Is there an Overseer close by? The Overseer is a little late.
Coming,
Locust.
but the Hydras are still able to get some shots off, and now the Locusts are back again.
And that was a really good fight for Snute. It started off kind of rough because, like you said, Czech did have a superior concave. But in the end, man, 3 units equal 3 units equal good trades.
Good trades, good deals, man.
Best Buy, right there.
That's all I need.
Best Buy on your roads. Get a Locust.
I don't know, Kev.
It's like Amazon, man. It's like, man, the other day I went to Amazon, ordered a roach, and got a Locust. I didn't pay for this.
So he's coming up, throwing more Infested Terrans, trying to buy some time, but you know, just the way that Snute is set up, it costs money for Czech to defend against this, and Snute's actually starting to build a bank, so he can instantly reinforce any of the units that actually cost supply that he loses.
Yeah, Czech is not really able to keep up like this for much longer. He's not able to saturate his 5th base either because he's just completely zoned out from it. Snute played an excellent game, 1-5 where it felt like, alright, that was kind of questionable, but in the end, the few swarmos that he had, they were just perfect, and getting that one big fight as well right before the upgrades from Czech were ready. I really felt that kind of sealed the deal. This was a very even game. It was a mirror image for the majority of the ZvZ. It just shows both players are extremely high skilled, extremely evenly matched as well, but game number 1, it definitely seems like it's going Snute's way. He's not there yet. Czech still has a big army, but he just doesn't have an answer to the Locust.
No, this army is just way too big from Snute, and just looking at the bank, whatever happens, his ability to reinforce is just absolutely absurd. Moving forward once again, now his Infestors are here, next we have a Locust shows up, and Snute knocking the doors down on Czech's base. He's up 200 supply to 120. That's pretty much it. GG, Czech taps out, and Snute will take game number 1.
That was correct, Nate. That was a cool game. Cool game on that wing. I really like the way Snute played it out in the start. Absolute mirror image. You know, both players just playing solid, taking the time, doing their thing. I think Czech made a big mistake getting in that big fight right before 3-2 was ready.
Yeah.
Same like that first attack by Snute. I'm not sure if it was 100% necessary, but he was maxed out, and he did I mean, he just started +3. Anyway, he was maxed out, and I guess he just wanted to see where he could go with it. It wasn't the worst trade. It wasn't a cost-effective trade, but he kept the majority of his Infestors alive. Then with the counterattack, he lost a few. But in the end, he stabilized, and he did have that 4th base quite a bit quicker than Czech, and also had it much quicker saturated than Czech. So overall, it was solid. And good enough for Snute. Just one map win away from, again, qualifying for the main event of an Intel Extreme Masters.
Would be awesome.
Yep.
I'm ready. We're counting down, guys. We're about to load into Overgrowth. You know, the best part about the map pool changing is that all these people that didn't want to play on Catalina and Deadwing, they either have to play on those maps or they have to play on the new ones. Yeah. Everybody still wants Overgrowth. You know,
I really thought that the Overgrowth was the first map that was going to be removed because everybody always plays on Overgrowth.
It was going to be removed, and then there was an uproar.
No, bro. Everyone's like, no, my life will end if we can't play on Overgrowth anymore.
Blizzard actually put out like a post about it. They're like, yeah, okay, dude, we understand that the community wants at least one map that's kind of standard and easy and whatever that people are comfortable with. Unless you play Protoss, then I imagine you hate playing against Zerg on this map, but...
Yeah. Swarmos are pretty damn good on this map, Nate, if in the hands of the right player.
Yeah. Well, plus it's hard to cannon rush because then you just take the gold base. Or if you're playing cats, then you just, you know...
Take the other gold.
You hate your life. He takes your gold base. Takes both gold bases.
Anyway, over here on the right top side of the map, we have our Norwegian Zerg player spawning as the blue Zerg. It is Snute. Or, as the one guy on Twitter really wants me to pronounce it, Snute.
Snute.
If I don't do that, he gets very mad at me. He's like, man, that's not how you say it. I'm Norwegian. I was like, yo, you understand that I've met Snute quite a few times. And he told me to call him Snute. He's like, I highly doubt that. And then he tweets at Snute, and Snute is like, yeah.
Yeah, man, I went to get Korean barbecue with him one time, and I was just like, yo, Snute, what do you want to drink? And then he's like, get out of here. Don't you ever talk to me again.
It's Snute or get lost. Snute is like the nicest guy in the world. Over here on the left bottom side of Overgrowth, we have Way Spider Czech spawning as the red Zerg. He is trailing 0-1 against Snute. Man, would be so impressive if Snute qualifies once again, you know. Even early today, I was watching Remax. Hawk was doing his predictions. He said, you know, you can look at these tournaments and all these IEMs in Asia. I just don't think a whole lot of Europeans or North Americans would ever go to it. The chance that you qualify for the main event is so small. Even for a player like Snute, I think it's very small. And here he is, Nate, once again, just one map win away from doing it all over again. And then I'm so curious to see in which group he ends up. Because
oh yeah, well some of the players, when you look at the main event,
imagine
it's really scary.
Yeah, imagine if they put him in the group with Classic, Rain, and Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, Snoot's even.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
Actually, Swarm host hype.
I think then they are going to have to postpone.
Are we gonna have to cast that group?
Yeah.
That's the reckoning.
I'm pretty sure that Le Tut in Taipei would really like to cast some PVZ, so I think we'll be fine.
Yeah. They got like, you know, they got Paulo there, number one. They got the number one Zerg caster. They're good to go. Spawning pool finishing up for both players, so Queen's gonna be coming out. The big question, Roddy, what's he gonna do with his gas? Czech is being a greedy boy. Czech is playing like Revival.
Yep.
He's rushing to the roaches.
Do you think that Snute is the type of player that is gonna try to do the same thing as DRG did on Catalina,
Nope.
or that Hyun
Nope.
did on?
That doesn't strike me as a
Overgrowth.
very Snute-esque strategy.
I agree, but it would be cool to see him roll
It would be cool.
to, you know, where Snute puts on his sunglasses and says YOLO or Drono.
Those. What?
You only drone one.
Yodo. Yodo. You only drone one. No. It'd be like Yoda. You only drone always.
No, or just a yacht. You only drone.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
only drone. I can dig it.
But I mean, like, he could say Yodo to check, like, bro.
I mean, I
Yodo.
guess he could probably say. I don't know, man. I feel like there's an infinite number of ways to spin that one. We've gone off the deep end with that.
Yep, especially because obviously Snute is not doing that at all.
No.
He's just going up to layer. He's like, I don't know what those silly castles talking about. Worst commentary NA.
He is droning though.
He is definitely droning. But he's not telling his opponent that you only Yodro. Evolution Chamber going down, Roach One going down as well. He's like, bro, you may have gone gasless. I will not waste my gas on circling speed either. I'm just gonna go up to Roaches just like you, but I'm gonna get an even quicker missile attacks upgrade, and I am going to have Roach speed before you will even think about Roach speed.
Yeah, man. them
Or he
fast
just goes up
roaches.
to Middleisk and lefts in my face, but I highly doubt that.
Nah, both of them are equally viable and entertaining options.
Nah, he's not going Middleisk when you get +1 missile attacks. It's so unlikely. He's not mining off this extractor, by the way, Nate.
Okay, there he is. I was gonna say, I don't think you can afford to do this. I was like, there are times when you wouldn't need certain extractors, but I definitely think you need at least 2 if you're gonna go all in, 3 if you're gonna get upgrades.
Snute is definitely not the type of Zerg that takes an extractor and then it's like, I don't really need it.
I don't really need it.
Snute thinks about those kind of things, man. He's a smart boy.
Snute sits down deep in thought with
Yeah.
his head resting on his fist and asking himself if he really needs that extra extractor. He's that kind of guy.
Yeah, no, he sits on the plane and then he thinks about his build. And if he didn't need that extractor, he wouldn't take it.
Yeah, he's gonna be the first guy to use the VR headsets when he's like sleeping on the plane. To just look through all the roach builds possible while he's drifting in sleep,
Wave after wave. Cloud after cloud.
slowly drifting.
Couple of overlords falling on either side as the queens are just marching out. And picking up an over here and there. Snute up 18 supply, that's actually quite a bit. Timing on these bases is pretty much equal.
Yep.
He is down. Okay, so he's gonna try to cancel this third base. That's why he's up quite a bit in supply. Czech seems to be onto something though, or seem to be onto it. As all these queens are a little bit exposed. If he's able to get one of these queens before it gets a speed boost.
Yep. Okay,
No.
not gonna get away. Rip.
Man, that was so close.
Good try.
Alright, so Snute is down 5 or 6 drones. So he's droning up behind this, by the
He's
way.
got 10 drones right now on the way.
Yeah, but he's forcing out a lot of roaches. He's forcing out so many roaches that he has to worry about the counterattack again as well. Of course, would love to find an opening over here with his own roaches, but he is not going to succeed in doing so. Has to be very careful, by the way, that he doesn't lose too many roaches over here. There's a Spinecrawler joining as well. Snute, I don't think he can win that fight. He does get one of the queens, that's nice.
A Spinecrawler can't actually plant itself. The pathing is blocked.
I still think Snute should get out of here. So far, this has been a phenomenal trade. So many low HP roaches for Snute. Gets out of there, and it loses a few in the end.
Yeah, just backing it up now, running away.
Oh, look at the supply donate. And Snute is getting 10 more drones. I'm really worried about the counterattack. If I was Czech, I'd just like shove everything into his natural right now. I don't always roach, but when I do, I am all in. You know, the Adidas slogan.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Huh? You don't know this
No.
all in?
I thought it was all in, just do it.
No, that's Nike. Nike is just do it. There's no all in.
I'm baiting you, Kevin.
Damn it, Nate. It's too late.
+2 attack is on the way for him, for Czech, but it's going to finish much sooner for Snute. He's really trying to put some pressure on this third base, but
That's
not
more
all
than
of
just
his
some
roaches
pressure.
not enough of his roaches are done. It really seems like Snute's push triggered him to building a lot more roaches than he was anticipating he would be prepared to deal with.
Yeah, Snute is taking a lot of economic damage over here. Like I said, roughly 30 seconds ago. You know, just shove it all in. I would have gone for the natural, but this base is fine too. Czech just had so much more army supply than Snute had. There's even a queen over here. How did that queen get over here from Czech? Why is there a queen over here, Nate?
Business class place. It's so good these days, huh?
Wilson, I don't even think Snute is going to be able to stabilize anymore. It's just a few too many roaches for Czech. Snute did not go for one big rotation of drones, but he went for 2 big rotations of drones in a row. Instead of just going up, you know, trying to even out the drone count, he tried to take a 12 to 15 drone supply lead. And that was just not going to happen. Czech said, nope, not on my watch, on Overwatch. No, Overgrowth. Overwatch
Close.
is the game. And Czech evens up the series. Unfortunate. I kind of like the opening from Snute. I like the reaction of his build order to the build from Czech. And I mean, he made a lot of roaches before Czech made it, so he was down a few drones, but then during that attack he was catching up again.
Yeah.
He got the queen, that was alright. Then he got a couple of drones, roaches, and then I just felt he should have gone back immediately. Because I felt like losing the additional roaches is truly what triggered Czech to actually run across the map himself. If Czech just ends up losing the queen and ends up losing those first 2-3 roaches and then Snute backs off, I'm not sure if Czech has the confidence to march across the map and attack. But after getting a few more roaches, then I think Snute was anticipating on losing. Oh well.
Yeah, especially with how many drones he was building behind it. He thought he was going to have another minute or two to actually get another wave out and then use.
Yeah, I mean, like it's one big wave of drones. It's like you said it as well. He had 10 drones on the way when the roaches were going to the south side of the map. Ooh, they kicked me from the game.
I think it was the wrong map.
All right, and that was like kind of then the fighting started, and then you look at the production tab and you see again 11 drones, and then I opened the army supply tab, and it's like 26 against 52, and you know when you're working with the same units, if you're working with the same straps, Nate. I have a hard time.
Yeah.
Even if you have the Nathanius micro, the Nathanius splits. If you're down half the army, even Nate micro is not going to save you.
You know, I swear, once they come out with a way to just automatically build supply depots, I will actually win another GSL Code S.
But you love hearing that woman talk to you.
I'll spend my money so well that she tells me I need minerals. Okay. I'll keep her talking to me. I'll find a way. Okay. I'm a persistent boy.
We are loading into our final game of the night. It's been a long day of StarCraft for us, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Of course, there's been the main stream as well. I can't wait to go home and wake up tomorrow and go over some of the VODs of the main stream, because I'm sure that if we've missed a couple of awesome things, that's the only downside of our job. It's kind of funny. First world cast problems.
I can't have both streams open at once, man. It's not fair.
Anyways, over here on the right bottom side of the map, we have the man that's representing Liquid. He is the foreign hope for many. Norwegian Prince Charming. It is Snute.
Snute.
But from now on, we're just going to call him Snute, because that rolls off the tongue a lot easier.
Snute, Snute.
Snute, Snute, Snute.
If he was a Pokemon, it'd be really fun for him to say his own name.
Yeah. So over here in the 9 o'clock position of Catalina, we have a red Zerg player. Representing Way Spider, it is Czech. He just dodged some bullets. After playing against Daisy. He was like Neo in the Matrix, man. On that Feeney research map. He's like, whoop, whoop, cannon, dodge, dodge.
He tried to put the last gateway all in, and he's held his hand up. He's like, no,
Yeah.
not today.
But then he's like, there is no all in. You know, like, there's no spoon.
Double hatch first for both players.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I would actually die of nerves right now. Lately, Nate, after we have been participating in a couple of local tournaments over here in Southern California, and of course we have tried our luck as well in the WCS qualifiers, I once again realized how nervous you get playing in silly things. And it's so funny, I have no reason to be nervous at all, because I suck, I know I'm not going to qualify. And I still get nervous. And then these guys, they flew all the way to Taipei. For Snute was even a little further than it was for Czech, but even for Czech that is a pretty reasonable journey. And now it all comes down to one best of one ZvZ on Catalina. If you win, you go to the main event, and this could still be the run that everyone will be talking about for a year or maybe even longer. Or this can just be the end, and then everyone will even forget that you ever made it to the Intel Extreme Masters in Taipei.
That's upsetting when you put it that way, Kev.
It is, man. It's rough being a competitor. So a lot of love to all those people out there that try their luck, fly around in these tournaments. Because it's always easy to see the guys in the spotlights, but the disappointments, Nate, that's where we have to be a real man to deal with those. And of course, you know, if you're young, if you're like 16 or 17 years old, then it's just awesome to travel to a tournament. And man, I would give anything for that experience. And that is definitely the case. That is the beauty of esports. Those first, second, third trips. But after you've been to 10 or 15 or 20 of those tournaments, there is no such thing as the excitement of the tournament. You just want to perform. You want to show to the world that all the practice you've put in has paid off. And if it doesn't, well, then it's just it's a rough journey, man. You have to sit home, you have to wait, you have to watch those other players shine where you think you could have. You watch games in the tournament where you think you could have done better. It's mentally very challenging.
Yeah, it's quite exhausting.
You need to have a very, very strong mindset. Anyways, we're gonna focus on it for now. So far, of course, this is still a mirror. 6 more Zerglings on the way for Snute. Is he gonna get... No. Snute? Snute? He's waiting. He has a lot of money. Oh my god, Nate.
There we go.
Snute is gonna roll the dice. 22 Zerglings on the way.
It's happening.
Yep. Speed is on the way, of course, for Czech as well. Czech does not have a Baneling Nest yet. Now, Snute is not known as an all-in player.
I don't know that there's a way to hold this without a Baneling Nest.
Yeah, this should be really difficult. Maybe perfect snipes, wall off. He has another queen.
His creep tumor just got planted, so he's close to being able to. But if he builds a wall, he won't be able to afford to build enough units.
I mean,
to
be honest though, like Snute is droning up behind this again, Nate. Like Czech is just making a bunch of speedlings. Oh my god, this is so awkward. They're both like just making so many speedlings.
He's gonna catch the beans.
Oh, this might actually be bad for Snute. And this is gonna be so weird. Because now he's making a lot of banelings, but these speedlings are going to wreck everything at home. Snute's queens are out of position. Oh god. Oh god.
Snute pulling all of his drones in the natural to fight at the same time. He's into the natural of his opponent. So basically both of them going to trade away all of their drones. And there's absolutely nothing in Snute's main base to defend against this. The banelings are coming in.
I mean, there's not a whole lot in the main base of Czech either, though.
Yeah. Oh, but the banelings can kill these drones so much faster, right?
Oh, okay, and there are Zerglings. He needs to get good connections. The first connection is not good. Second is not good either. Maybe connection number 3. No, it's not yet.
Oh,
yes.
He gets it.
Okay, but is that enough, though? No, it's not enough, Nate. He has lost everything in his home. It's over. It's all ogre. It is all over. The counterattack from Czech with the speedlings just killed everything too quick. He has a spine crawler going up as well. Snute is trying to squeeze out any unit that he can at home. He has 2 more banelings that may clean this up, but it's 2 drones. That's it. Czech is going to advance to the main event of the Intel Extreme Masters in Taipei. And unfortunately for Snute, his run will end here. 1 map short this time of qualifying for the main event. Oh man, did something that's very un-esque Snute, making so many Zerglings in that phase in the game, making a Baneling Nest as well. He saw the Zerglings running across the map. I guess it was just almost too late to respond. Oh man, great
loss.
Great counterattack by Czech. Of course, we gotta give credit where credit is due. We're both big Snute fans, so obviously it's always a little bit upsetting for us to see him go out. But great counter by Czech, that's all there is to it, man.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where you don't have It's so weird that Czech doesn't have the Baneling nest, but you know it doesn't matter that Snute has a Baneling nest. If he has no Banelings at home, those lings, what's he supposed to do?
Yeah, he got close to having a couple, but they just didn't get the connections. And that must have been so nerve-wracking as well for Czech. Like, he has to worry about everything at home. If Snute had 2 Banelings on this ramp in his main base, when he saw those units march across the map as well, but he was actually making drones behind his push. Like, if it would have been only Zergling production from Snute, then I think there's a much bigger chance.
Yeah, making drones behind it was definitely
Yeah.
a bit foolhardy of him.
If he would have been making Zerglings all the way, then I think he has 1 or 2 Zerglings that hatch at home that he can morph into a Baneling that will eventually...
And that's all he needs.
Yeah, that's
1 or 2 Banelings.
2 Banelings with 2 queens on the ramp, Baneling behind it. Oh well, the
Rip.
dream is dead for Snute. Unfortunately, no Snute this time in the main event of the Intel Extreme Masters. No WCS points for him either, I believe. I think you need to qualify for the group stages. And I think that is going to be it for us. Day number 1. We will be back. Day number 2 though. As we are going to be covering, I think, Group B or Group A tomorrow. I'm not sure. It's one of the two, or maybe both, but I think... Alright, we'll be back tomorrow at 7 PM Pacific time. We don't know which matches we are going to cover yet, but we know we are going to have a lot of fun. Sean got placed in Group A, by the way. It would be very awesome if we could take a look at this. I have Wikipedia open, I hope that's okay, because I think it's more updated. Let's just jump over to my screen real quick. And then we can talk to you guys about the results that we had today. We scroll down. This was dual tournament number 1. True was able to be victorious. 3 2-1s, by the way. 2-1 Soki, 2-1 Hero, 2-1 Linux. Soki made it over Linux. That's a result that we did not know yet. Soki, that's very nice for Soki, man. 2 Monster Zergs advancing from dual tournament number 1. And over here we have 2 just as intimidating Zergs advancing. Dual tournament number 2. Hyun having 2 2-0 victories. Oh man, Snute 2 times, 1 map away from qualifying. And before that he didn't drop a map yet. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Sad life.
Yeah, Snute went 6 and 4 in maps, and unfortunately did not qualify. Czech got placed in group number B. That's actually, I think, a very doable opponent for Harstem. Of course, I am Dutch, Harstem is Dutch. I am cheering for my Dutch brother, just like I'm cheering, of course, for Rain, because I got a crush on Rain. He's incredibly awesome.
That's understandable.
Then again,
Group C,
yeah.
Jeez.
Son, 4GG.
Group C and D are actually just...
Oh man.
That's not even fair.
It's so funny because Group C looked the weakest group in my opinion on paper before. Actually, you know, Life was already in it. I just think that Life is quite a bit better than Sun and 4GG. I know 4GG beat Life at DreamHack, but still in my mind, Life's Life. But Soki makes that group look fantastic on paper. And in Group D we have Maru, Hydra, Parting and True. Well, Nate, it's safe to say that this is going to be an awesome tournament.
Yeah! Yeah, I'm really looking forward to these groups.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at that.
I think that is pretty much going to be it for us today. Of course, big shout out to all the awesome sponsors that make the Intel Extreme Masters possible. Intel at first, of course. And then we have HyperX, Rocket, BenQ, and Gigabyte. Bam, at the end of the show, Nate. Got it.
Boom.
And of course, Nate, thank you for joining me as always.
Thanks, Kev.
I'm still a little bit sad you don't like the Soul Read thing. I kind of want to bring it back for the main tournament. I think we should just reach out to you guys in the Twin of Universe. Make sure that you keep your tweets coming as well. Hashtag IEM for all your tweets the upcoming days. Should hashtag SoulRead become a thing? I think it should. Alright, we'll hear from you guys. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 PM Pacific. That would be 10 PM Eastern and 7 PM, 3 AM European time. It's either 3 or 4 AM European time. But just take a look at intelextrememasters.com. There you guys can find all the start dates. Or, of course, Team Liquid calendar. That is going to be it for us. Nate, final words?
Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Peace.